Hello everyone! Today I'm playing a deck that Saffron Olive came up with a while ago that I just thought was too cool, and I knew I wanted to record with it eventually. This is Dimir Quasiduplicate. We have a whole bunch of value creatures like Ravenous Chupacabra and Sailor of Means and Hostage Taker, and we have a whole bunch of Quasiduplicates to copy them and just get lots and lots of these creatures. So, I asked in my last video if people would rather see best of one or best of three, and most people leaned towards best of three, but there were a couple people who said, nah, I want to see some best of one too. So, I'm gonna compromise a little bit and we'll see how it goes. I think I'm playing a couple best of one games on the ranked ladder, and then I'll jump into a constructed event for the best of three matches. I chose this deck to do this because I think it's a good compromise between the two strategies. On one hand, you're blue-black, so you've got very good sideboard cards in Duress, Disdainful Stroke, Negate, stuff like that. But on the other hand, this deck has some weird kind of bullet cards in it, like Plague Mare. And so this is kind of already pre-boarded as a best-of-one deck. We have lots of things that are, like, may or may not be good, but hopefully we can hose people in game one and take the game from there. So yeah, the deck is pretty straightforward. We've got a little bit of removal in the Chupacabras, the Eldest Reborn, one cast down, one deadweight. Besides that, it's just creatures that we're okay with copying with Quasiduplicate, and a pretty normal blue-black control sideboard. If you've seen me play blue-black before, which you probably have because I play it all the time, you should be familiar with all of these cards. Alright, I'll go ahead and hop into the ranked queue. Alright, getting into game one. We'll see how splitting things goes. This hand looks pretty good. Can copy my Seekers Squire if I really need another body. If my opponent's playing a creature deck, Hostage Taker is going to be really good, and I just really like playing Explore creatures on too. It's kind of just always what I want to be doing in this format. Okay, green-white. I think Hostage Taker is likely to be very good. Sailor of Means was a really good draw here, because it gives us something to do. Well, I kind of wish they didn't know about that. I'm gonna bin it just because we don't have double black, and we really want to draw a fourth land, but against green-white, this is likely to be a good card. Well, not if they play that, but... okay. So, I think this is actually the type of game where our deck is likely to be very good. It looks like the board is just going to kind of stall out, and no one's going to make any headway for a while. And Hostage Taker is really good in those types of situations. Just plenty of time to take their creatures and then replay them as your own. Sure, resolves. This guy can tap for mana now. Legion's Landing, sure. I'm a little scared of what's going to happen when that goes off, but... okay. I did not draw a land. So I could Hostage Taker here, but I don't love that. They don't really have any creatures that I super want to take at the moment. So I'm going to avoid using any mana, and I'm actually just going to Quasiduplicate my Sailor of Means. This will further lock down the board. Like, they have no good attacks, and even once this goes off, their attacks aren't great. They're just attacking into 1/4s. And it gives me an additional treasure, so I have better odds of getting a good Hostage Taker later. Okay, I figured that was somewhat likely. It's like, well, the best card out of green-white. Unfortunately, Hostage Taker is very bad against this card. Yeah, not a whole lot else to say. Okay, so I'm going to minimize the damage from this Song of Freyalise by killing Trostani Discordant here. Ravenous Chupacabra was a really good draw. So this will shrink down all of their creatures and just make it so that their attacks aren't as good. Like, these will pump up to 2, and we'll just be able to block most of their board without much trouble. Don't really want to blow my other treasure yet. And I think we're actually in an okay spot. We're going to get beat up here a bit by this happening, and they're going to flip their Legion's Landing, but we've kind of got all the Quasi-duplicates in the world, and we can just keep copying Ravenous Chupacabra. Yep, sure, flip your thing. Go ahead, get the Vampire off the table. they have some sort of pump, we might lose a lot of our board here, but I still think this is the good block. It minimizes damage without but we don't lose anything unless they do have a pump of some sort. They could just pump this up, but if they want to spend their entire turn killing my Sailor of Means, I guess they get in for some damage too, but... yeah, like, we took some damage there, but, I think we're gonna be okay. So, I have a couple options here. I could Hostage Taker the Thorn Lieutenant and then try to replay it, or I could Quasiduplicate my Ravenous Chupacabra and kill it. I think I would rather start doing this. I'm not going to use my mana very efficiently this turn anyway, so I'm going to work on, like, getting the really good plays down, start stealing all their stuff. No attacks, because our attacks aren't very good. We really want to draw, like, a Dream Eater or Vampire Sovereign here, something to break this matchup open. Huh, that's interesting. I might steal that. Ooh, these Song of Freyalises are really brutal. It looks like they don't have any way to kill our creatures, which is good for us. So, we've got a few options here. I kind of want to just Hostage take her and take Amara, just get her off the table right now. I could also Quasiduplicate Hostage Taker to take Amara. I could use, and then use my last treasure to Thorn Lieutenant, or even Amara. I think that's actually a good idea. So I'll go ahead, cast this. This card is so much fun to play with. Like, take Amara, make sure she doesn't become tapped and start making more soldiers. And then I think I will play this one. Don't have a particularly good reason for that in one way or the other. And our attacks are still bad. So yeah, when this goes off, we're gonna take some damage, and like that kind of sucks. Okay, they did remember, I was wondering. This was giving their creatures the ability to tap for mana, and so they had enough to activate Adanto. But basically, I think we're likely to take one more big hit when this goes off, and after that, I think we'll have the board stabilized pretty effectively. Another land is great. So, I could deadweight one of these, Hostage Taker another, just keep their board mostly clear. Kind of like that. I kind of want to get Amara down eventually, but she's not even that good here, so no need to rush on that. And I'm fine playing out my last Hostage Taker on a token, because this is basically using a Ravenous Chupacabra on it, since it gets rid of it forever. And, I didn't want to take 3, because it's going to go up to a 3/3. Attacks are still not great. I could, like, send in with a few, but I think I want to have all my blockers for this next turn. Like, if we attack with a 2/3, they're just going to block with a 2/2 and a 1/1, and then we get a 2/2 out of the deal, so... winning this game is going to be long and painful, but I think we've got decent odds of getting there. Like I said, would love to draw the Vampire Sovereign. If we could just play one of those... oh my. That's bad news. Yeah. So, how do we block here? We can put... okay, we don't want to block with the token, because that's the one that's got Amara under it. But, we can... I'm probably just going to throw away a lot of my board here to soak as much damage as possible. Basically, blocking this way, I only lose 3 creatures instead of, like, 1,000,000, and we won't take that much damage. So now, this turn was really painful, and we knew it was going to be because of the Song of Freyalise anyway, but the Flourish made it really bad. We're gonna lose a lot of our board, but, like, we get to play the Amara, we get to play another Sailor of Means, and I think we'll start taking over the game pretty effectively. Okay, they play the land, they still do not have enough to play Adanto. So... do I want to play Watery Grave? We do have 6 drops in our deck, so I think I want to get that down. It'll also let us possibly double Quasiduplicate at a later time. Wanted to get this onto the table, and I want to get this guy down. So now the board is kind of stalled out. Like I said, our attacks just aren't good. They're even worse now because they have a 3/3. So we can't attack, but they can't really attack either. Like, they'll just lose most of their board. They'll slowly take over. Perfect draw. That is excellent. Is there a reason to do that now or later? I think we just wait on it. We can wait till their end step. Maybe there's some reason to do something else. I don't think we're gonna get punished for waiting. It's not like they have counterspells. Sure, Legion's Landing, that's fine. This kind of incentivizes them to, like, make a vampire attack and flip this. But I didn't think they would. Their attacks are pretty bad. Okay, this is cool because it gets the 3/3 off of the table, and we can start actually pressuring their life total. It's going to take a while to actually really make progress there. Ooh, these are great cards. Go ahead and bin the Seekers Squire. I think I'm okay with just drawing these every turn for the rest of the game. Well, not actually, the game might last a little longer than that, but getting the Thief of Sanities down should be really cool. Yep, bounce your token. So, go to combat. I think we're very likely to win this game now. Like, we've got the board mostly locked up. Even another Song of Freyalise or another Flourish is unlikely to be able to kill us because we have all the 2/3s and 2/2s in the world. And then, like, next turn we're attacking for 6, plus we get a card out of their deck, and we're playing another Thief of Sanity. Like, I think we're gonna be fine. This was a really good draw, and it set up a series of just absolutely awesome plays. Just gonna go with these. Sure. Seems good to me. We can go ahead and use our treasure. Now our stuff has hexproof, and we've got another big flyer to start closing out the game. Sounds great to me. I'm playing into a sweeper pretty hard here. I don't know if that's relevant. I can't imagine what sweeper these guys would be playing. It just doesn't fit anything they've done so far to be playing like a Cleansing Nova or something like that. They could have like a... Oh, well, that kind of sucks. That was a really good play for what we had, but God, and they're gonna get their Shalai back right now? Oh man, that is so mean. That sucks. Well, I'm gonna do this in my main phase so we can actually get in for some damage, but wow, that was the best draw ever. Maybe I should have thought of that when I was looking at my Thief of Sanities, but I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. These cards are all too slow. Particularly the Eldest Reborn doesn't do anything. Another Dream Eater is all I want. Yeah, suddenly I think we're going to lose the game. I think that completely turned it around. Like, we're not going to be able to attack quite fast enough. Maybe we hit something really cool. The problem is that almost anything we're going to hit are just going to be creatures that we can't really use. These are the exceptions. Yeah. That hit a little more mediocre than the other one. Like, maybe we can flourish for a cheesy kill. Or I suppose if we give our creatures 2/2, this is 4, 8, 14, 20. We're not quite attacking for lethal in the air, so they don't have to block with Shalai. Oh, and then they just drew another flourish. And I think we're just super dead. We'll see, but yeah, this is just too many attackers. Wow. Okay. That game was pretty frustrating, and we don't get to sideboard, so we'll see how the next best of one goes. Okay. Opponent drew their main deck anti-blue-black card with the second Tristani, and we did not draw our one main deck Plague Mare, so that's how that went. This hand seems really good. Removal, good 3-drops, a Quasiduplicate, and some top end, plus the mana's good. We need a third land, but that's gonna happen sometimes. Come on. Okay, Glacial Fortress. Suddenly, this hand doesn't look so good. Yeah, I don't know how this deck does against control decks. We've got some good stuff, but overall I think the deck is probably very bad. We effectively just have like a million Ravenous Chupacabras, which lines up very poorly against the no creatures to fairy deck. Yeah, like, our whole deck is filled with this garbage. Okay, they don't have their 3-mana counter, which is the one they probably have the most of, Sinister Sabotage. So I'm just going to throw Thief of Sanity out there. I'm kind of surprised that worked. So if we make it to my next turn and they have 4 mana up... Okay, they do not. Huh. I still think I actually want to do this first. I might get blown out here if they just have, like, Lightning Strike, but that was gonna mess me up anyway. Okay, they just countered it. That's fine by me. So the reason I did that is because I thought it was reasonably likely they had something like Seal Away. And if they seal away my Thief, I'm going to be very sad. If I don't at least try to clone it first. But instead we just traded 1 for 1. That sucks. That really sucks. Grabbed nothing. And they still hit their 4th land drop now? Ugh, gross. Alright. Oops. Copy this. Discard one of these stupid blank Ravenous Chupacabras. Again, same reason. If they have Settle the Wreckage, I want to make sure to resolve this first. Okay, negate. Sure. Yeah, we connected. Real card this time? Yeah! So, we have a choice. The best Planeswalker ever, or a counterspell to protect our Thief. We don't currently have a 5th land. Can't play lands off of Thief of Sanity, unfortunately. So I'm just going to keep going the way we've been going. I'll attack. Now I can just attack without doing anything, and if they try to settle the wreckage, we're going to ionize it, and they will be in a lot of trouble. Would love to hit... Oh my gosh, 3 lands again? Come on. Really would have liked to hit, like... what's it called? Chemister's Insight there. Now we just kind of have nothing to do. Cool, finally hit 5th land. Sweet. Same plan. We're gonna keep beating down and hope that they can't deal with our Thief of Sanity. Holy crap, we have flipped 3 lands 3 times. That is, not very likely. That is totally fine. I am not going... I only have 1 counter. Our deck doesn't have any, so I am only countering something that impacts the board, something that gets rid of Thief. Oh, that's kind of brutal. I wonder if they didn't know that was going to enter tapped. See if I can stop you. They have a negate. Oh, man, that's even worse. Damn. I'm actually going to cast down my Thief of Sanity here. I think cast down is very unlikely to be a good card, like, ever. But we do have, Memorial to Folly in our deck, so we might get our Thief back at some point. God. So, we could try to stick an Eldest Reborn here, and I think that's actually pretty good, because they've got a Teferi. Like, it doesn't do anything immediately, but, next turn it'll make him discard a card, and if we can reanimate a Teferi, we should be in pretty good shape. The alternative was resolving double Sailor of Means, which is okay, because it puts 3 power on the board while they're at 6, but it's not anything special. See, they might be thinking about sticking another Teferi here. which case we can try to get rid of it with an Eldest Reborn, but unlikely to work, just because the Teferi deck always has Negate to go with it. Oh, no, that instead. Well, that we can get rid of with this, so... Man, and then we have 2 Eldest Reborns go off in a row. We can get back to Teferi and Ral. I was really scared if they put a Teferi onto the battlefield, but instead I think we're just in quite good shape. Ooh, and the land is actually good because it means we can Sailor of Means into Eldest Reborn. Ooh, that's scary. Okay, cool. They sack Ral. Yeah, and they just pack it in. Okay, this matchup, I think, is terrible, but we drew the right cards to get there anyway, so not bad for a couple best of ones. I'll be back with some proper best of 3 matches. Alright, I have started a constructed event in the best of 3 queue. I guess the Dusk Legion Zealot makes this hand okay. I looked and saw a lot of 3s and 2 lands and got a little worried, but I think this deck, this card's just quite good. Well, it doesn't line up super well against that, but... Oh boy, we really need to hit another land. Any land lets us play Sailor of Means into Ravenous Chupacabra, though, so that's pretty good. Okay, either mono-black vampires or just like a mono-black aggro deck. Oh boy. Well, at least this blocks. Graveyard, we really need a land. Dusk Legion Zealot, you haven't done enough. I need you to be like 2-mana District Guide or something. This attack, no longer good. It will hit us for 1, but then we'll just eat their creature. Okay. Phew! Land. So, now what do? We can Sailor of Means, which is probably what I'm going to do. It guarantees Chupacabra or Hostage Taker next turn. We could also Thief of Sanity and try to steal the game, but I don't think we have the board locked down quite well enough yet. I think I would rather try to stabilize Folly and then try to close out with this. I love this card. Yep, Vicious Conquistador, that's fine. 1/1s attack very poorly into a 1/4. Okay, now they don't have any good targets for the Ravenous Chupacabra, so now I am going to play Thief of Sanity, especially because we have a spare. Hopefully we draw lands for the rest of the game, and then Thief of Sanity can steal all their good stuff while we play out the cards in our hand. Oh no, is my Thief dying? It's even more... I was pretty annoyed with not hitting our 3rd land. They've played multiple Dusk Legion Zealots and haven't hit theirs. Like, that sucks. Ah. Huh. I was under the impression that... Oh. Ah, okay, and they're missing a color, even. Okay. I was under the impression that you got more, like, high-tier decks and games in the constructed events than the queue, because the queue resulted in most people who just don't have that many cards. But, this is not a super promising first start. Maybe these are, like, upgraded starter decks, because these are good cards, these two. Like, I would play both of those, but the 5-drop vampires, not so much. Triple land. I am so good at flipping triple land with Thief of Sanity. It's kind of insane. Sure. I'm gonna play that because it'll just let us, we can even reveal a vampire from our hand. There's no reason to do so except that it's hilarious that we have a vampire. If this card cost 2 and then had that text box, I think that would be really exciting. Like 2 mana for a 2/2 flying lifelink that, as long as you're playing the right tribe, but as is, not super impressive. And sure. Yeah, like, they've got some good cards in here. They just also have some bad ones. So, yeah, that just makes me think that this is like they took a black-white starter deck and then upgraded it with a few wild cards, like, made sure to get their Vraska's Contempt and stuff like that. But, oh, yeah, it's this one, because I stole it. But, they just don't have all the cards yet. Let's see if this closes it out. They might have gotten a murder. I haven't been doing much just because there's no reason to. We've got this game so locked up. Okay, they do have their murder. That's fine. Sure. Could even reveal a Dusk Legion Zealot. Yeah, okay. So, we'll see how the sideboarded games go. This one was rather uneventful. I think even if their deck were just, like, ideal, like they had all the good cards and everything they wanted, I think this matchup would be pretty good for us. The Vampire's Tribe kind of needs to go really wide. It needs to make a lot of 1/1s and 1/2s and just kind of weak creatures like that. And then the top-end Vampires rely on you having those smaller ones. And just the Sailor of Means deck is inherently going to be really good against that. Eldest Reborn seems pretty bad here. Dream Eater seems kind of mediocre. It's slow, and bouncing individual things isn't great. Yeah, we can just go down to 2 of those. I think the rest of our deck should be fine for closing it out. Thief of Sanity is probably going to be fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, like, even if you imagine they had ideal black-white vampires and they go, like, Legion's Landing into a Danto Vanguard into Queen's Commission to make a couple 1/1s, we've still got Plague Mare and Ritual of Soot. Like, we're still gonna blow that draw out of the water. So, I think this was unlikely to go their way anyway, and having some suboptimal cards just really made it impossible for it to go well. Dusk Legion Zealot, sure. I don't think I'm going to spend a deadweight on that yet. This card will incidentally be invalidated by our entire hand. No need to spend a card on it. I would much rather deadweight that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to deadweight this Conquistador. Since that way we played a tap land, and I think it's reasonably likely they play a land and play the 4-mana spell that makes 3 1/1s. Yeah, that one. Call to the Feast. And we are prepared for them to do that. Yeah. This card is really good against tokens. It's not even... In general, in Standard, it's actually a little more interesting than that, because, even though... yep, go ahead, take your thing. I'll be happy to steal that later. Even though this is good against 1/1s, the proper tokens decks in Standard usually have a lot of ways to grow them, like, the Venerated Loxodon and stuff like that. Go ahead, cast this guy. Now we can attack freely and not worry. Oh, this guy doesn't have flying? I kind of assumed he was just, like, floating in the air. Okay. Like, this card is powerful. It's a 5/5 for 5 that drew them 2 cards. But... that's where its power ends. Like, they needed a lot more 1/1s for that to be a good plan. Or for that to be good enough, I should say. Okay, we've just about wrapped this one up. Even if they, like, play a million tokens here, we can Ritual of Soot. Okay. I played a deck with this card. This card is actually good. Like, Arterial Flow is just a good card. Mind Rot is usually almost playable, and a 4-point life swing stapled onto Mind Rot is just great. It's like kind of the Siege Rhino effect. A card that was okay and almost good enough suddenly becomes fantastic when you tack a Drain onto it. Drains are just so good because incidental life gain is good, and incidental life loss can decide games, and so when you do both, like, the odds of either the life gain or the life loss mattering are really high. Like, one or the other is probably going to do something. I think if a good vampires deck crops up, it will probably be from Sweet Vampires in the Orzhov guild in the next set, and I think it's going to lean on Arterial Flow. Alright, I'll be back with another match. Okay, I think this will be the last match. 2 best of 1s and 2 full best of 3s. Seems fine. I'm still, like, torn on how exactly to play, because I don't want these videos to be super long, so at most I would play, like, a couple best of 1s and maybe 3 best of 2s, or best of 3s. But, like, I don't want to join a constructed league and play 2 matches and then just, like, finish up the rest off camera, or whatever. This might be the Chromatic Black deck. Double Swamp into Discovery, that's just what it makes me think of. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I assume this matchup will live or die based on whether or not they can get rid of our Thieves of Sanity. One of these will run away with the game very fast. Okay. I think I am going to play a Thief of Sanity and pray that they do not have Ritual of Soot. They have binned lands both times. In addition to, they binned the Moment of Craving, so I have to imagine they've got, like, another removal spell. Please no Ritual. Okay. Third Discovery. That's not a Ritual of Soot. They're kind of on Moment of Craving or Bust. I believe when I played the deck, it only had 2. No! No, don't kill it! Oh, dang. Okay. This game got a lot harder. Because right now we're just not applying enough pressure. Our deck just isn't really good at that. We don't have Merfolk Branchwalker or whatever. Hoping they'll just, like, stick a Karn and uptick or something like that. That I am okay with. You can get rid of my Dusk Legion Zealot. That's fine. Yay, we get to connect with Thief of Sanity. This is, like, my favorite thing to do in Standard. Oh, yep, I was correct about what is going on here. Kinda glad we're making sure they don't draw these cards. Which one's better? I kinda want to stick Karn, and then we can play Memorial to Folly, and he'll just give us, like, infinite cards. Like, if we live to 6 mana, Niv Mizzet will probably be good, but I don't know. This is tough. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Karn. Just because he fits into our turn so well right here. Oh. Well, one of those cards is good. Go ahead and get rid of Deadweight, because I suspect that it will continue to be terrible. I kind of wanted to get a Sailor of Means down so I could play around this, but I'm gonna go ahead and sack their Karn. Which... oh boy. Thief of Sanity. We're gonna need something good. What do you got? Another Karn? Sure. Yeah, so... oh boy, they might get to, like, really go off here. This is unfortunate. We have a lot of ways to kill a Niv Mizzet, but the damage might be irreparable. We go ahead and downtick to make sure that we get a Thief out of him. Choosing to get our Thief, not choosing to reanimate their own Niv Mizzet. That's Odd. Maybe they are about to, like, land Lantern into Niv? They don't have quite enough mana for that. Oh my gosh! The continuous stream of Eldest Reborns. Yeah, I mean, sure. The third one is just really gross. Still don't know if I agree with not choosing to get the big dumb dragon, though. Choosing Ravenous Chupacabra instead of the Eldest Reborn here because it will let us play another Thief of Sanity if we don't hit something really good. Treasure Map is great, though. I don't want to overly play into, like, if their last card is Ritual of Soot. Oh, I shouldn't have done this now. I should have done it on their end step, but whatever. We were scrying Swamp to the bottom anyway. Your top, one bottom, so hopefully they didn't draw something good. Let's see. Discard. I don't think we need the island, so we'll see what they reanimate. The suspense is killing me. They have so many good targets. Will they go for our Thief of Sanity again? I wouldn't recommend that. Worst case scenario for us is that they grab Niv Mizzet and then we and then just like cast a bunch of instants or something and machine gun down our board and draw a bunch of cards. That would be kind of tough to come back from. Yep, there's the Niv. Go ahead and pitch this island. Oh, please. Okay, one card. Oh my gosh, do they not have it? Please no instance. Yes! Haha! Our one Eldest Reborn is greater than their 3. God, this card is so incredibly good. Like, ugh, it is disgusting. I'm gonna take Moment of Craving for a really, like, corner case, which is they deal with our board, and then we end up, reanimating their Niv Mizzet with our, Eldest Reborn, and I want to have an instant sorcery around. I think that is more likely than activating treasure maps 13 million times. Yep, they get Niv again. Luckily, we have one more Ravenous Chupacabra in the bank. Okay. Ah! Niv Mizzet. Not exactly what they wanted here. Quasiduplicate, always awesome. Ooh. Our deck has so many good answers against Niv Mizzet. We have to be the best anti-Niv Mizzet deck that there's ever been. Let's go ahead and go with Vraska's Contempt. We are nowhere close to flipping Joseph S, so... Here, I'll go ahead and play the Seekers Squire. Sure, I'll keep that on top. This way, we still have 1 mana left to activate Treasure Map one more time. Fortunately, Treasure Map, not one of the transform cards that gets exiled and then comes back. It just turns over, and so we do get to keep it, even if we flip their Treasure Map. Okay, we got there. Woo! So, every good card in their deck costs 1,000,000 mana, so Disdainful Stroke is great. These cheap removal spells are not. Arguel's Bloodfast seems awesome. Basically figuring out how much I want of the, like, Duress Negate stuff. I think a lot, just I don't want to trim too much removal because being great against Niv Mizzet was one of our best features there. I think Vampire Sovereign is probably pretty whatever. Yeah, let's go like this. Some fast and loose sideboarding here. Maybe we are even supposed to go down a little on this, but the Eldest Reborn hits Planeswalkers too, and having a critical mass of anti-Niv seems awesome, so I think this is fine. I could see the correct thing being making room for a couple more, or making a couple more slots open. Get rid of, like, maybe one Sailor of Means and a Ravenous Chupacabra or whatever to be able to get the last Duress and Negate in there, but I think we'll be okay. I think this matchup is probably good as long as we can interact with them a little. Like, Duress a Chromatic Lantern, Disdainful Stroke a Karn, and then run away with our small creatures. So in the best of one queue, we played against reasonably real decks. We just didn't get to sideboard, so it was kind of a blowout one way or another. Best of three, we played against, like, kind of starter deck-ish vampires, and then this is a real deck. Like, I played it for the channel not that long ago, so jury's still out on what queues you're supposed to play to get the best games. This hand seems great. Can have answers to their win conditions, maybe just run away with the game with the Thief of Sanity. No! No! Disdainful Stroke! You were part of the reason this hand was good. Oh no. Okay, Discovery. They spent last game just doing this for a million turns, and it did not work out well for them. They probably saw blue-black and assumed we were, like, a slower, more mid-rangey deck, and so that's why they binned the Moment of Craving, not knowing that it was the best card in their deck against what we were doing. Huh. Hostage Taker can steal Chromatic Lantern. That's kind of funny. Yep, sure. There's the Lantern. I played the Watery Grave last turn, even though they didn't know about it, so it revealed a little information about our hand, because I just wanted to get this down without paying life and thought that was more valuable than showing them one card. Okay. I'll pitch... Sure. They can know about fewer cards. Now I'll conceal information, because our deck's mana costs are not that restrictive, and so showing them something isn't that important. So I guess counter to what I said earlier, but I also have gotten more information since then. We've drawn a bunch of lands. Yeah. Okay. You can have a swamp. So, interesting spot here. I can cast their Chromatic Lantern into Thief of Sanity, or I can get the Eldest Reborn going. I think... Because I do kind of want to get this down, so even if they kill Hostage Taker, they'll never get this back. But killing Karn and then getting that value train running seems great. So I'm going to do that. Like, they don't have many cards, and so cutting off their card advantage engine seems more important than potentially stopping them from casting exactly Niv Mizzet later. Because that's all this really does. Like, it ramps and lets them cast their weird off-color cards. It very rarely fixes for 1 mana to cast Dispersal. I've never seen that before. Okay. Demon Lord Belzenlock, that is a good creature. Huh. I don't actually love this card in this deck, because when I play it, it draws me way more cards than I want it to. I have cast this card and just died from like 6 life before. So, we could either stick Arguel's Bloodfast and start drawing cards. What I would like to do is, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of wanted to get this down. And then we can play this. And now they are disincentivized from attacking. I'm actually going to do this right now. This is a bit of a cheeky play, I guess. They probably should not block. Yeah. If they block, then I get to reanimate Hostage Taker instead of just, like, Karn or whatever, and then I get to just cast their Demon Lord Belzenlock on my turn, and that would be very good. We have not much going on in our graveyard, so it is just going to be Karn and Uptick, but an important thing about getting Thief of Sanity down is now they don't want to use their Demon. Like, I'm gonna get their Karn and uptick it, and they really don't want to attack Karn with the Demon Lord, because then they'll just get hit by Thief of Sanity. So this is kind of a tight game, but I'm feeling pretty good about our position. They would need something very powerful, which their deck is good at powerful, so... Yep, get your Karn. Sweet, thanks. That was a really good Eldest Reborn. Okay, I am fine with those cards, that's for sure. Now they really want to attack Karn this turn, otherwise we're going to get a Hostage Taker. But, like, if they attack Karn, that just doesn't end well for them. I get to hit them with Thief of Sanity, get another card off their deck. Also, I'm fine with just passing here, because we have one of the best card advantage engines in Standard now. Like, I'm just going to just draw 2 cards on their end step, and I can keep doing that stuff. They are in a really tight spot here. Guess their best play would be, like, kill Karn, Ritual of Soot. That's kind of the same thing. Oh, but they can't kill Karn anymore, because they don't have the City's Blessing, do they? No, they don't. Oh, that's unfortunate for them. Huh. Sure. I will sacrifice this Hostage Taker, who doesn't do anything anymore. I can activate this at any time, right? Yeah. Would I rather do that, or just draw 2 cards and then Karn for a Hostage Taker? I think I'd rather let Karn do it. This puts more total cards in my hand, and, puts Karn to better use. I want to extract maximum value before he might possibly die. Huh, we can cut off colored cards as an out here. Go ahead, like I said, put Karn to maximum use. We do not quite have enough mana to replay the Demon Lord yet, which is unfortunate, because if they kill him, they're going to get to possibly draw a bunch of cards off of this again, which would be sad. But what we can do is Quasiduplicate our Hostage Taker, and steal their Chromatic Lantern. Oh, I guess I could have sequenced this better. Maybe? Yeah, I think so. I think I could have stolen the Lantern first, and then replayed it and used the mana to go off here. We still get to draw a card with our Bloodfast, so it's kind of whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and draw my card first. Yeah, okay. Now we know, discard this island. They have 1 turn to kill this Hostage Taker, or I'm going to replay their Demon Lord. Yep, those are not going to be good enough. Much too slow. Oh, that's a very good draw. So, go ahead, replay this. Replay our Sweet Demon. It's our Sweet Demon now. No Trostani Discordance to take it from us this time. Uh-oh. Okay. I was a little worried we were going to run into the problem that I just talked about, because our deck also has a very high average converted mana cost. But, luckily that was not the case. Okay, our hand's starting to get a little confused. Got our hand, our graveyard, and our exile with Hostage Taker able to play zone. Oh, I didn't do this yet. Oops. Okay. Well, I wouldn't have played Thief of Sanity if I possibly had Disdainful Stroke. Oh, I shouldn't have anyway. We have a Negate in hand. What am I doing? Oh boy. Hope we don't lose. That's scary. Keep on top. What could be good enough here? Yeah, they get back... What? Hostage Taker, I guess? What are they gonna take? Do they have enough to... Oh, they do have enough to replay him here. Crap! I did not play around what's happening here. Oh boy. It's no excuse, but this game has gotten really complicated. Yep, sure. The one thing that's okay about this is that it loses them life and kind of taps them out. So, and we have all the cards in the world, so letting them get a few cards back is fine. I'm actually going to downtick Karn. I'm going to remember that we have access to counterspells this time. Disdainful Stroke is great. Now we can Ravenous Chupacabra. Yeah, and they pack it in. We were going to just kind of flex all over them with the rest of the game, so whew! So we won 2 matches and went 1-1 in single games, so that was overall a very good performance for the deck. I wish I could just play a few best of 3s on the ladder, but that really didn't work out well last time, so I'll figure out what I'm going to do, but I'm going to keep making content. And knowing that, you should subscribe to the channel so that you can see all the content that we release almost every day. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching.